athletes in the world. Today I'm going to tell you about one, Broadway Joe Namath of the New York Jets. Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're good. Sorry. We can hear you better.
Namath was born May 31st, 1943 in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. Growing up, Joe always played sports, mostly football, basketball, and baseball. Upon graduation from high school, there were offers from professional baseball teams such as the Yankees, Mets, and Pirates. A couple of other teams too. Namath was interested and wanted to sign. Only his mom wanted him to get an early college education. Eventually, Joe Namath made it to the University of Alabama. He played quarterback for the Crimson Tide from 1962 to 1964. In those 3 seasons, Joe led his team 29-4 record. In 1964, he led them to the national championship. His coach, famous Bear Bryant, said he's the best athlete I've ever coached. After college, Joe Namath was selected to play for the New York Jets. Flamboyant Namath, surrounded by New York City, and with his movie star looks, gave him the title. Joe went on to earn a 4-time American League All-Star. At his point, Namath had accomplished great things on and off the football field. But in 1969, he accomplished his greatest achievement. For the New York Jets, he found themselves in the World Third Championship against the mighty Baltimore Colts. The Colts were so much the favorite that the television station and newspapers already labeled them as the champs. This irritated the Jets' Namath so much. During a press conference on the week of the big game, Joe shouted, "We're going to win, I guarantee it." This statement was very bold and laughed at by most. The only ones not laughing were Joe Namath and his teammates. Some of the guys on the team were concerned. Joe stepped over the line, but then when it was game time, Namath was leading his team like fearless heroes. He threw it right, he threw it left, hitting all receivers, even Chemica.
Whoa.
I overthrew it.
Okay, we needed entertainment.
I'm sorry about
That's okay. That was cool. That's okay.
When the final second kicked off the clock, it was official that the scoreboard read Jets 16, Colts 7, and Joe Namath and the New York Jets were Super Bowl champions. Joe was named most valuable player of the game. Although the Colts were 18-point favorite to win, Joe Namath backed up in his prediction on that day the Jets were the best in the world. Later in Joe's career, he had many knee injuries. It was rumored that at halftime on games, doctors would drain the fluid built up in his knee. Today, Joe was in his late 60s, still hanging around the Jets and football. I enjoyed cheering about Joe with you today. In closing, I would like to say there are many great athletes, but for me, my dad, my Uncle Stephen, Joe Namath is number 1.
All right. Excellent. You're good. You're well. You're right in the right time limit, so you're fine.
Yeah.
So.
And right here is Joe Namath when he was still in Alabama Crimson Tide football team. And this is one of his most famous pictures throwing the football. This is just one of his autographs he gave to someone that's copy printed, not real. And this is why they call him Broadway Joe Namath, because he's just like a movie star on Broadway in New
And I'm
York.
probably the only one in here that knows that.
And here's Joe in his late 60s nowadays. Here's another famous picture of him, but this, I have to say, this is my favorite in the Super Bowl III, when he was pointing number 1 to the world on television.
Yeah.
And he was number 12 his whole pretty much career.
Yeah.
Could you have
Nice.